Dueling Dialogues presents His and Hers with Grace Matthews, Caddyman, and Connor Murphy.
Welcome to episode 15 of His and Hers with Grace Matthews and the Caddyman in the heart of the USA, Springfield, Missouri. Howdy, you two.
Hello.
Hey, we're here.
Right on.
We are here, and life is a-changing, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, 2020 has to be known as the year of change in ways that most of us never dreamt of.
Yeah. You know what, though? The last 10 years, I would have said every year that we were in was the year of change, and it just changes more and more and more.
Yeah, it gets bigger. Oh, gosh, yeah, what's going to happen in 21?
Yeah.
But, that brought me to the thought for the week, and that is awareness precedes change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think that, awareness is what it's all about. We're living in very trying times. We've got COVID, we've got race relations, we've got this election year, and it affects our families and our relationships.
Right. Well, quarantine alone affects the mental health of absolutely everybody. I don't care who you are. You're going to get cabin fever.
Exactly. And it's funny because, we're big Yellowstone fans.
Yeah.
Today, Kelly Riley, who plays Beth Dutton, said, basically Yellowstone, these are kind of bad people,
Right.
They will do anything it takes to keep their life the same. She said, it is really a reflection, of what is going on in the world. It's just going on within this Dutton family, and, everybody's trying to hold on to what they had, which is, kind of the premise of the show. You got this family of ranchers that are trying to hold on to the land.
Right.
And COVID has kind of threatened what we had.
Yeah. Will we have any more? I don't know. It's hard to say.
I don't know either. I don't know. I don't know. Will our lives as we knew it ever be back again? I almost think you cannot have this kind of change and ever go back, because you've taken away an innocence.
Yeah. What's going to be the next virus to you?
Well, and they're saying that once we get a cure for this one, there will be another one.
Yeah, so instilling fear. I'd say people have a lot of fear.
They do, and it's affecting our families. I mean, we have people in our families that we have not seen for 5 months.
Right, exactly.
Because there are health risks. If someone were to give a few people in our family COVID, they run a risk of not making it.
Right. Well, my brother just had an infection, so he was hospitalized for about a week. And there was many days that nobody could go in and see him. So I can't imagine that. I mean, I've had surgery in another town, and it's pretty darn depressing because you don't have friends and family coming to see you. Right?
Sure.
So I know that is tough, very tough. And I'm sure, he's looking forward to the rest at home right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had the same circumstances with myself and my son when we've been at least 3.5 hours from family. And it's tough, but I didn't really feel like we were at risk of dying. I can't imagine a loved one being in the hospital and they're probably not going to make it, and you can't be with them.
Right.
What a stress that is on families. But also, just to bring it down a notch or two, I don't have little children right now. I do have 2 granddaughters, and I do know that our son and his wife have decided not to send our granddaughter to school this year. They will homeschool her, at least until the first semester is over, because they feel like it's too much of a risk. I don't blame them. I see it both ways. On one hand, I want my granddaughter to be with friends. In another sense, I don't want her getting COVID and bringing it home to someone that shouldn't have it.
Right. Kids don't have the awareness of what a virus is, even.
Exactly.
My little granddaughter said that COVID makes you wash your hands. That's what she thinks COVID is.
Yeah. I mean, our granddaughter said basically the same thing. She called it poison ivy. Just like poison ivy. I mean, I think she's at the stage everything's like poison ivy if it's bad. But.
Yeah.
Well, what's really happened on this too is most people don't like to be isolated.
It's unhealthy. Yeah.
And this isolation of people has made them, I don't know, stir crazy, whatever. So when they can get out, they want to do something. And maybe that's what's causing some of these 21-year-olds and 18-year-olds to not heed the warnings and not act in the appropriate manner, because that's like caging up a caged lion and letting him out and saying, yeah, don't go eat that meat that's hanging over there.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of, this is so
Well, you have
different.
you have those two ends of the spectrum. You've got the one you're talking about, where you've got kids having house parties, and they're now trying to arrest these kids because there was a house party, I guess, last night that was on the internet. 300 people attended. They're going to arrest everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, they've got pictures. Okay, so you got kids, like you're saying, that, they're like caged animals. They're ready to get out. Then today I had to take my aunt to the doctor, who has several illnesses. She's older, and she's got a couple of cancers, and she is nearly in a panic when you get her out.
Right.
And when she panics, she can't remember anything. We lost her husband today. I mean, it's too stressful.
Right.
So you've got all of these issues. And you go, well, don't have school. Okay, then you got parents that can't go to work.
Right.
Then you go have school, because kids need that interaction. They need to learn, and kids don't get it very badly anyway. But you got to have teachers, and teachers aren't children.
Right.
And then they say, well, you're going to have to teach them in pods. Well, where are you going to get all those teachers? If you have a pod of 6 instead of a classroom of 24, where are you going to get those extra 4 teachers?
Yeah. And really, how can you imagine children on Skype or Zoom? Like,
and some kids
how
don't even
many
have access. Yeah.
how many kids would it take before it gets out of hand and you're not able to control anything?
Well, yeah, their attention span is like seconds anyway. And then how do you have a classroom of kids and say, oh, we're going to social distance? Have you ever taken care of kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you not touch them?
Yeah. Don't get in my space.
Yeah,
Right.
or, they got, snot hanging down their nose. How do you not direct them, touch them, get close to them? And sometimes kids just need hugs.
Yeah, exactly.
They really just need hugs.
Exactly.
How do you do all this? And where are you going to find these substitutes?
Yeah.
And how are you going to afford them? A lot of school systems don't have very much money. Ours included. And I don't think there's money for extra teachers.
Not
No,
4
and that-
times as many.
And then, the interaction of children, that's how they learn. They get a lot of their learning at small ages in grade school, let alone junior high and high school.
Absolutely.
How to interact with all different types of people, how to follow rules. There's not going to be any
And
rules.
play teaches.
There's not going to be any rules on Skype.
Right.
And
how do you enforce it? That's
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
one school said they didn't want kids wearing pajamas when they were
On
online.
Skype.
Yeah, on Skype.
Well, I think that's a good idea, but let's pick our battles.
That changes their mantra. So does that mean they can't learn when their pajamas? They have to have on a t-shirt and shorts, or
they're gonna try and enforce a dress code.
That's what they said. I don't know how they're going to do it, but.
Well, I am very concerned about how, parents that, both parents need to go to work, or maybe they're in a household that has only one parent. How you can't leave kids at home. What are these people doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess with the increase in the number of teachers you'd also need to increase childcare as well.
Exactly. And if kids are going to childcare, they might as well go to school.
Yeah.
Our daughter-in-law quit her job right before this, or right about the beginning of this. So she's at home with our granddaughters, but it's tough because right now, there are a lot of people that need to get back to work.
Yeah, and when will that be? Because right now it seems like we're taking a kind of a step backwards, or at least here, as Walmart is requiring people to use masks now, and probably all of the other retail stores are going to follow suit. So, I don't know, step backwards?
It's a step backwards, but I think what you find in the United States is there's the first round of lawsuits are out there. So somebody gets COVID at your place of business,
right.
You're at risk. Now, one of the things I get HR for human resources, I get like newsletters and the laws and the rules, and they've got a whole list of things your business should do to help, certainly not eliminate a lawsuit, but as a preventative. And one is shut down things like water fountains.
Right.
Because people, whether they, if they get it and somebody, because they're tracking everybody's phone, so they can tell you when someone gets, for example, when someone in Springfield gets diagnosed, on our phones we get every business they went to.
Right.
And what days while they were infectious. So those businesses that are listed are kind of at risk of lawsuits.
Right.
So if they have done their due diligence, that's going to help. Like, cover up the water fountains and have sanitizing stations.
Some of the stores here will not allow you to use reusable grocery bags, and some of them won't refill your own container or use your own container. They'll give you disposable everything. So 6 months ago,
that's a step backwards. Remember back when San Francisco, you had to bring your own bags.
Yeah, and no straws and plastics is bad, but boy, oh boy, did they ever benefit from COVID, because there's plastic everywhere now.
Yeah.
And then there's all these businesses have their own cup, because they want you to come back. If you buy the cup, you can fill this 44-ounce cup for 79 cents instead of.
Oh yeah, are they still doing that?
Oh well, not now.
They're not. I don't know. So. I've never done that anyway, but I hadn't thought about that. A lot of people do. We have a place called Come and Go, and they've got stores all over town, and people will go there every day to get their coffee or their soda they drink, and if you buy their cup, like Caddyman says, you can fill it up for some hugely reduced price.
Right.
But yeah, nasty. I mean, that's how it's going to be viewed now. And before, it was like the ecological friendly thing to do.
Yeah, because you weren't, using more plastic.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we recycle absolutely everything here. If it's plastic, it goes to recycle. So we're on an island. No place for plastic.
Right. Yeah.
So, also
We
health.
should be better here. We should be better recyclers.
Also, Health Canada just approved a drug called Remdesivir for IV use with severe COVID cases, but I don't know if they've done trials that are successful. I don't know anything. I'm
I heard a little bit about that drug. I have.
Well, Russia cured it. Remember? Did you see that? Putin.
Putin did it. Oh, good for
yeah.
him.
I don't know. I hope he did for his country's sake.
Yeah.
Me too.
So I really do, and I really do think we're probably going to get a vaccine in October. I don't know how long that will take to reach enough people that we can go back to some sort of semblance of our old life. I just don't think we're going to go back.
Right.
I think that this has changed everything.
I think you're right.
Maybe we will be like, in Hong Kong where they've been wearing masks for gosh, how long now?
Yeah,
The cold
exactly.
in the air has been so bad.
Right. So maybe it just gets to where that's part of your garb.
Yeah.
Just to grab your mask.
I really hate the mask thing. I mean, it irritates my skin. And when it's hot, I don't get panicked, but I really, really hate it.
Right. When it's hot, it steams up my glasses.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
That is true. If you
Yeah.
wear glasses, it's a nightmare.
And really, if you don't wear glasses and you wear a mask, you're kind of exposing yourself. Your
Exactly.
eyes are certainly maybe as big an entry point as your mouth.
Yeah, you bet.
So if I'm going into a place that I'm really worried about it, I put on my glasses with my mask.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe soon they're going to require shields or goggles.
Yeah, I don't know. But you could use the cover Krispy Kreme donut box because it's got a window in there. You just have to put some elastic around it.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, I never thought of that. And then you could, I guess, taste it when
Yeah.
Disposable too.
Yeah.
Do you use disposable masks?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Okay, we use them that you can wash.
Well, there's medical personnel in the house, so we've always had rubber gloves and masks here for, anything.
Yeah.
Any kind of health use. So,
Yeah.
and cooking.
Yeah.
And see, it makes a difference here because we have an ordinance that you do have to wear a mask in any retail
Right.
establishment.
Here it's more city by city. Or
It is here too.
It is here too, yeah.
or the store will decide
Yeah.
that this is what we're doing, and some of them put up a backlash for their stance on it to wear a mask, which I think is a little ridiculous. If you want to shop there, wear a bloody mask.
Yeah.
Simple.
If I had a business, I think I would require it.
If you don't want to wear a mask, shop somewhere else.
Shop
Right.
somewhere else or get on Amazon.
Just quit bitching about it.
You don't have to wear a mask to shop Amazon.
Yeah.
But there are all kinds of things. Today, the NCAA decided there would be no sports till after January.
Right.
College sports. Think about those seniors. Are they going to come back and play another year? Or their eligibility? I assume they will keep their eligibility.
They don't lose
most
a year.
Places.
Yeah, they
At
won't
least
lose.
at the colleges that can afford to keep their scholarships alive.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some schools that would be quite a financial burden. But no college sports, and I know that the quarterback for Clemson, what's his name?
Lawrence.
He just had decided not to go on to the NFL and play out his senior year. Will he change his mind?
Yeah, and I heard some outtakes from some of the coaches of the big schools in the Big Ten and in the Pac-12, and from some of the athletic directors, and they were saying that they think that having and this was all football, having their kids there where they could keep them under control in an environment that they could control to keep them from running amok as college students do, that it would be better than having them not under any kind of quarantine or situation where they can be watched.
Right.
But I guess the presidents or the presidents didn't feel that way of the schools and voted against it, so they're postponing it, trying to figure out a way. I guess they're postponing it, trying to hope for a vaccine.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can think of, because they have to have that money.
Yeah, you have to have the vaccine.
They have to have the money to
change.
Unfortunately, athletics supports a lot of the school functions, scholarships, regardless of whether they're academic or sports minded. But that revenue, so many schools count on that revenue, and it is astronomical from television and the day and the games.
Well, sure, and just the fans. But I learned today that Missouri State University, which is our alma mater and is in Springfield, they rented out a whole hotel with the idea that as students get sick, they will have a place to quarantine them. What do you think about that?
Oh, wow.
Before the school starts, they just went ahead and rented out the whole, I don't even know which hotel. I don't know that they released that information.
Right, they probably
Who
don't
wants
want
to
you to
stay
know.
at that hotel? But because they know they're going to have cases, they know that they're going to have to quarantine. Why? They just decide to be ready for it.
Then that's the biggest thing is, just like the students going onto campus, let's try to figure out ways for it to happen, not ways why it can't happen. It's just like these restaurants that they've been forced to close. A lot of these restaurant owners have come up with ways to let people be in there and be at least as safe as possible.
Right.
But let's let them figure out a way to make it happen. Let's don't just say, well, it can't happen no matter what. Well, that's
and
not
it's
the
like
way
you
it is.
said the other day, you have a choice.
Yeah, no one's holding a gun for you to walk at your head to walk into that store or that restaurant. If I feel safe enough to go in there and eat dinner by myself or with my family, I should be allowed to do that.
Right. I agree with you. But I do think that this is causing stress,
Absolutely.
How are relationships faring? I mean, some relationships are finding new life. Some are ending in divorce.
Yeah.
My aunt today was talking about how her husband just keeps sleeping. He's so bored. And how she feels all alone and isolated.
Right.
I mean, they're older. How healthy is that?
Yeah, it's not. It's not healthy.
it's-
Mentally and physically.
It's just like, wanting to take most people would enjoy to take a 2 or 3 day weekend, just a little getaway. Where do you go?
Where do you go?
What's open? What can you do? And it's changed. The society has changed, and it's just amazing to when will it return? What will it return to?
I don't know. Well, this weekend we've got something different going on. We've got a friend. She's not going to tell her family where she's going, and she's coming here for the weekend.
There you go.
I mean, so we're going to have one person. I think here we are limited to 10 people, is it, or have they changed that? That isn't even our family dinners.
Yeah. You know what you're going to have to do, though, is sterilize with a lot of wine.
Yeah. I think mine will be tequila, but, it'll work.
Oh, even better. There you go.
But she's coming here. It's one person, so it will change our dynamics a little bit. And her family thinks she's going out of town.
Ah, there you go.
So, you got to get creative. And we've talked about that on other shows. we have tried to get really, really creative, and sometimes it works, sometimes though as much as we have tried and as many things that we have done, I'm kind of missing other people's song.
Yeah, for sure. Although, I tell you, when we go out in public here, I couldn't tell anything was different.
You couldn't? I think
No.
people here are
Well,
just way too serious.
traffic gets considerably more dense in summer here, of course.
Sure.
And it is a holiday destination. So our summers here are fairly busy traffic-wise and people-wise. And right now, I really can't tell the difference from last year to this year. It's just everybody's got gloves or masks in the car. That's it.
Interesting. That's interesting. Because here, every place is suffering. That is a tourist destination. Oh my goodness.
I find strangers are a little more apt to speak with you.
Really? See? I sort of see the opposite.
Well, the common point is now, well, how are you handling this, or how's it going with this, or
how's your family?
yeah, is your family okay?
Family got it?
I guess it's just a different set of rules now.
Yeah. And you have to think about, how do people that live alone, how are they faring? And I hope that our listeners are not suffering terribly from, psychological or emotional issues because they're alone.
Right.
I mean, even if you're tired of somebody at your house, at least there's somebody there.
Yeah.
And so you really got to use Skype, Zoom, telephone.
Right.
Don't let yourself get too down.
Yeah, and if you are down,
vaccine's coming.
And if you are down, get help. Make a call.
Help.
Go see your doctor. Make a call.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that is the moral of the story. If you need help financially, there are services out there. If
Right.
you need help with your emotional or mental health, there are hotlines. There's doctors. There's therapists online. A lot of the doctors will do a telephone or a internet call. Use all those resources. Do not let COVID
beat you.
Right. Well, you guys stay safe.
Absolutely.
We
You
will.
too. And everybody keep your head up.
Yeah, you bet.
And don't forget, move that coffee table.
Yeah.
Do something in that living room. Dance, exercise, yoga, meditate. Do something.
It helps.
Yeah.
It will help you. You'll feel better. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can throw in.
Have a good visit with your friend, and everyone, thanks for listening.
Okay. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye now.